I'm so proud of this team. To start the meet with a little bit of a mistake, a little bit of a hiccup, and then to not let that affect them and just to continue to carry their energy to kind of pass that torch from one person to the next. I'm just so proud of their resilience and the way that they rallied to just not worry about the scores, not worry about the outcome, but just stay invested in the moment and to be able to just continue to get better. They started with their lowest score and then just every event built a little bit more to finish with a record score. Again, I'm just so proud of this team. I think it says a lot about who they are as people, that they don't give up. They continue to put the work in. They continue to fight. And that's what this night was all about in being Power of the Pink, is to continue to fight even when the going gets tough.
Yeah, so you've obviously had the unique perspective of being on each side of this rivalry. Obviously, last year you were with them and you coached so many of the players on that team. How strange was it? Can you talk me through what the emotions were like tonight when you got out there?
Um, it's hard because you always want to have, great connections with your players. And so that's something that I really strive to create with any athlete that I'm coaching. And so I made a very conscious point to say hi to everybody right at the beginning of the meet, but then separate so that they had the freedom to step into what they needed to do. And I had the freedom to step into what we need to do as a team. And really, my goal as a coach is for our athletes not to need me. I want to coach them and equip them with the skills, the mentality, the toughness, the fight to be able to step into hard moments without me. And so really, that's kind of how I judge myself at the end of the day, is how well have I equipped our athletes to maximize those moments, because really it's just them and the event out there, the fans, the team, all of that adds just an incredible feeling and emotion, but at the end of the day, it's that individual player that has to have the confidence to walk on 4 inches, and I know y'all know that's not easy. And again, I'm just so proud of them for embracing that and just really making some big steps forward as a team.
Coach, obviously a raucous crowd here tonight, sellout going in, and the crowd was energetic, especially as the team continued to rally. The girls talked about matching one another's energy. Can you talk about the way in which the support, like you got tonight, elevates that energy?
There is nothing like, and I've said this, for months now, there's nothing like the energy that the fans bring to Coleman Coliseum, and it's something that our athletes, they've never quite experienced it like that before. And so right when we were warming up, they could see the students pouring in, and they were all looking around, and they were like, oh my gosh, they're already here. And you could just see how excited they were, that the fans showed up to support them, that the students, everybody just added such a great energy to the air. And again, I've said that when it comes down to those final moments, when the meet is close, the crowd makes a big difference. And, we absolutely saw that play out tonight. That energy just carried throughout the team, throughout the entire Coliseum, and it really helped us find our edge in the end.
Lily and Louisa just said you're one of the calmest people. They know that you just always seem so calm. How calm were you feeling when it was coming down to those last few routines? And then just what kind of poise does Louisa have that she was able to finish so strong on beam and floor?
I really did feel calm, which is crazy to say. I trust our athletes. I really trust that they have the tools to have the awareness that they might feel some nerves, they might feel some jitters, but they know what to do with it, and they know how to respond. And so whether somebody falls in front of them, whether somebody wobbles, whether somebody hits, it shouldn't affect the next performance. And so after each event, we kind of brought it together as a group, and we said, okay, score is 0-0, reset. Then we got to the next event. Okay, score is 0-0. Let's reset. In every event, every routine is a new opportunity to make it great. And so I think our athletes really embraced that tonight. They couldn't have done what they did if they hadn't had that mentality of just reset, move forward, step into the next moment, and try to win that moment.
Yeah, Ashley, you talked about the bounce back from vault. How big was Makari's rebound, especially going into bars? So did you tell her anything after that to spur on that?
You know, the only thing that I told Makari was that it's okay to mess up. It's okay. You know, you did your best. You gave it your best shot. Something kind of weird happened, and that's okay. But now it's important to move on and respond, and you know how to do that. And so I don't think she needed me to say that, but we had a very quick moment. But again, she knew what she needed to do. She knew how to bring herself back to a place where she was aware of how she was feeling. She forgave herself for that moment and just moved on to the next. And I watch her do that in practice all the time. And so I knew that's what she was going to do out here tonight.
Coach, how's it feel? Lily Hudson said that you're an Alabama girl through and through, but last year you were at Auburn and you won this matchup as an assistant coach. How did that feel compared to how it feels now, beating Auburn as the head coach, one of the only few people, maybe the only person to ever win both sides of the Iron Bowl in any sport? How does that make you feel?
That's an interesting one for the record books, isn't it? I love this team. I love that they have embraced me. You know, again, with 6 seniors, they could have been stuck in old ways, but they weren't. They embraced me, were open to changes, have done a great job throughout their entire careers, but I just have a slightly different way of doing things. And so I'm just so thankful for them and how they have welcomed me into this space, and we really started creating something special together. So just so proud of them. It's a very fulfilling feeling to watch them out there and really own it and own their greatness, and I'm just really proud of them.
Hey, so I got a chance to talk to Coach Jeff after, and he gave you a lot of respect and also kind of made a little bit of a funny jab at the fact that you beat him on beam. And I'm just curious, the fact that both of these teams just put on a show tonight and put a spotlight on gymnastics, what does that mean to you, and do you have any words for him and what his ladies were able to do tonight?
Yeah, this is such a great matchup. You know, I think our two teams, you know, could go all the way this year. And so whether we won, whether they won, I think it's a great testament to how strong both programs are and how strong our state is at gymnastics. And these types of matchups really prepare you for a championship season. And again, we love a win, but we really don't come into a meet just for that. It's really about building that score so that in the end we get seeded in the best way possible and we give ourselves the best shot at being successful in the end. You know, I think the Auburn team is a really talented group. I think Jeff is an amazing leader, and I'm very thankful for him for the way that he helped me prepare and be ready to step into this role. So I have nothing but great things to say about him and their program as well.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the win. I was just wondering, what do you kind of say? I saw you like on either end of the beam whenever athletes were up. What are you kind of saying to them while they're on the beam, or like, are you giving them words of encouragement, or like, what kind of are you saying to them?
Mm-hmm. Every athlete is a little bit different, and we talk about what it is that they need in that moment. And again, the root of kind of how I coach is to build strong connections, to be able to help them in those moments, or just remind them of the things that they need to do. So most of the time I'm saying something like, okay, what are you going to commit to? Like, you tell me what this is going to look like, and really kind of putting it back on the athlete to be aware of how they're feeling. Do they need to breathe a little bit more? Do they need to remind themselves of a correction on a certain skill? What adjustments do they need to make that maybe they didn't make in warm-up? So usually that moment is kind of a quick little time to make sure they're owning it, make sure they're taking charge of what that routine is going to look like. And then usually there's a quick, hey, you got this, you know, and usually it's kind of that confident head nod where we both are in agreement that we've trained, we've prepared, we're ready, now just go show it off.
What kind of rock is Luisa Blanco to be able to anchor the lineups the way she does and handle the pressure she can at the end of rotations?
Yeah. You know, Lou is such a beautiful gymnast, just a beautiful person, and you know, the way that she stepped into that position, I'm not sure if she knew how close what it was, but I think she knew she had to be pretty good, pretty close to perfect there in that moment. You know, and I talked with her and I was like, you know what, like this doesn't define you, right? Like all you have to do is just get out there and do what you do every single day. And, you know, she took that and just did her thing. You know, she does it day in, day out, week in, week out. She always steps up, knows what she needs to do, and executes. And again, she's a rock. She's a great team player, and she's really just done a phenomenal job. Thanks, Coach. Thank you. Roll Tide.